America has always done its best in trying to pave way for the future, or so they say. Just recently, the country that is on the edge of a new recession had launched and tested a project worth $1 billion. This aircraft is set to revolutionize the U.S. Navy's tactics contrary to modern underwater threats, primarily submarines from other world powers. Why such a massive investment? How does this new technology compare to current systems in this kind of aircraft? Last but not least, what subsequent impacts might this innovation make on international security and defense cooperation? Join us as we go through how the U.S. tests the historic $1 billion anti-submarine aircraft. In the depths of the world's oceans, rival states are gradually securing the silent and sophisticated means of projecting power. Nuclear-powered boats intended for deterrence, reconnaissance, and attack pose a significant threat to conventional naval forces. The United States, therefore, has relied on systems such as the P-3 Orion and P-8 Poseidon for decades now to maintain an edge in underwater warfare. But new threats require radical changes. China's Type 094 Jin-class nuclear ballistic missile submarines and Russia's Yasen-class submarines represent advanced stealth capabilities. These platforms are deliberately created to avoid any form of detection by conventional methods, hence being a clear and present danger to world peace, particularly to the American Navy. To counter these advancements, the U.S. Navy has turned to an ambitious project, a multi-mission modern warfare aircraft designed specifically for tracking and eliminating submarines at sea with stealth, speed, and surveillance capabilities. The increased use of underwater battle equipment cannot be overlooked either. The United States cannot afford to ignore the potential of advanced submarines for its enemies, from spying to possible missile shots. This aircraft will spring up as one of the key tools in the U.S.'s countervailing strategy, a weapon with several purposes that helps to identify, track, and counter these threats before they become vulnerabilities on the security front. This billion-dollar aircraft is a game-changer because it is designed to operate AI-driven sonars, underwater drone compatibility, and real-time threat assessment of the enemy. With these advances in detection, this innovation guarantees that the United States remains dominant in sea weapon warfare. Anti-submarine warfare, called for short the ASW, has come a long way since the Second World War. The evolution of destroyers was initiated with sonar equipment built into the destroyers, aircraft carrying depth charges, and many other improvements that triggered the current developments. In the latter part of the Cold War, ASW was a necessity since the North Atlantic Treaty Organization attempted to neutralize Soviet submarine forces. There were also significant platforms of long-range maritime patrol and anti-submarine warfare, such as the Lockheed P-3 Orion that was first ushered in the 60s. The evolution proceeded to the P-3 Orion, which boasted more sophisticated sonar, magnetic anomaly detection MAD, and enhanced range and endurance to locate submarines in hostile geographical areas. People and technology went hand in hand, and that is how the Orion was of great value during the Cold War confrontations. This aircraft's capability to address new threats as they emerged demonstrated the ASW development dynamics. Another big step was made with the coming of Boeing's P-8 Poseidon. First activated in the 2010s, the Poseidon integrated cutting-edge radar technology, enhanced endurance, and strong armed weaponry, making it a cornerstone of the modern ASW arsenals. However, the P-8 lacks effectiveness in dealing with hypersonic underwater vehicles and ultra-quiet submarines, making the need for next-generation solutions quite evident. This $1 billion aircraft furthers this concept with futuristic features, such as a quantum navigation system, electromagnetic detection array, and drone deployment system. The capacity to expand detection range, reduce response time, and provide mission compatibility across the spectrum will give this aircraft a significant chance to revolutionize ASW. This anti-submarine aircraft, which embodies aviation history, is equipped with a set of innovations. Its sensor systems include new generation sonar arrays that can distinguish between natural sea manifestations and man-made objects with the highest level of precision. Also, its quantum navigation system reduces the dependence on GPS, thus making it possible to maintain consistency with the system's operations in regions where GPS signals may be interfered with. One of the best options is the integration of its activities with autonomous underwater drones. These affixed drones can be released mid-flight to increase the surveillance range of the parent aircraft, mounted with personal high-definition cameras and microphones. They are force multipliers that can cover multiple targets at once. In addition, it has an artificial intelligence on board that processes and forebodes vast data flows in real time and can find patterns that operators could miss. The aircraft has a powerful propulsion system that ensures it deploys for many hours, while it is hard for the enemy radar to locate it. Advanced materials make it difficult to detect on radar, apart from in areas that are heavily watched. On the other hand, it has sharpened weapon systems, such as precision-guided torpedoes and payloads that address emergent submarine threats with little impact on other parties. It is also important to mention that the aircraft is integrated with next-generation communication systems to optimize data link sharing across naval and allied forces. This integration will enable a commander to make timely decisions based on tactical intelligence obtained on the actual battlefield. With these capabilities, the $1 billion anti-submarine aircraft holds the record of being one of the greatest marvels of engineering. The appearance of this aircraft in the United States arsenal caused waves across the global map. It also offers allies the chance to expand cooperation in coast security, especially in the South China Sea and the Arctic. For adversaries, it highlights the increasing problem of how to deal with the United States' technological advantage. China, and in particular Russia, are known to have advanced their submarine capabilities significantly, especially in the context of asymmetric warfare. Beijing's focus on anti-access/area denial A2AD capabilities, and Moscow's emphasis on strategic deterrence through sun-powered submarine-terminated ballistic missiles are both troubled here. When the aircraft is applied, these nations might have to reconsider their underwater tactics, which may lead to the emergence of new developments in submarines. Also, the aircraft's capacity to share data in real time contributes to the overall North Atlantic Treaty Organization alliance. Since it offers targeting information to friendly fleets, it facilitates the development of a joint response to threats, thus improving the general safety of the forces on the field. On the other hand, such developments might also lead to an arms race, therefore triggering concerns of volatility in maritime spheres. Countermeasures like the stealth technologies on submarines or having advanced electronic warfare add complexity to this changing balance. The incorporation of this aircraft into combined defense plans has also refocused attention on critical axes of communication, such as the Malacca and Bosporus Straits. Protection of such critical avenues has remained a key factor in member states' defense strategies. To such a degree, how will these dynamics prepare the future of international defense collaborations? Well, the historic anti-submarine aircraft is not only an American product, it is also a call to world partnership for defense. Other nations like Australia, the United Kingdom, and Japan, which have similar threats to their maritime security, will benefit from this kind of technology. Combined practice and intelligence cooperation strengthen the aircraft's value. In waters of the Indo-Pacific, where China's naval power is posing a strategic challenge, this aircraft helps Quad, which consists of countries named Australia, India, Japan, and the United States, to uphold freedom of navigation. Likewise, in the Arctic region, where the ice is melting and new sea lines of communication are becoming operational, this platform assists the North Atlantic Treaty Organization in tracking Russian movements. Such cooperation measures guarantee the utilization of the aircraft capacities and promote confidence amongst the partners. Nevertheless, some issues are associated with reliance on such advanced technology. These systems may not be easily incorporated into the fleets of smaller countries, hence the need for capacity-building programs. Further, access to secured technology also creates questions about the security of technology and its ownership. The management of the collaborative relationship, as well as the general balance between sharing information and maintaining strategic differentiators, remains a rather challenging endeavor. However, the place of the aircraft in enhancing partnerships cannot be underemphasized. What will this mean in the future of innovation, in the competition of the defense industry? The evolution and experimentation of this aircraft are not simply hinting at the military's evolution. They benefit the U.S. defense business. Companies such as Boeing, Lockheed Martin, and Raytheon have been involved in taking charge of this project with more vigor. The ripple impacts are passed down to subcontractors and suppliers, benefiting the nation's economy through growth and employment. This project also shed light on the emerging relationship and confluence of private sector development and military requirements. For instance, this world-class aircraft relies on technologies such as AI, quantum computing, and advanced materials originally intended for the civil industry. Such synergism helps enhance technological advancement within various industries. However, the $1 billion price tag makes it questionable when it comes to the cost-benefit analysis and opportunity costs. Could these funds have been channeled elsewhere to other significant national defense sectors? Critics say that proponents of high-technology approaches may draw resources away from more important concerns, such as the training of sailors and the refurbishing of current fleets. However, they argue that such investments are crucial for being at par, especially given the rate of technological advancement in the market. In addition, the success of this aircraft bolsters the United States defense export market and makes it one of the prominent producers of sophisticated military technology. It might also lead to an increase in market share, whose benefits could, in turn, fund further innovations. This is a virtuous triangle of technological advancement and economy. The United States has a long history of creating specific aircraft designs for conducting anti-submarine warfare in the middle of the 20th century. The Grumman TBF Avenger in the Second World War brought airborne ASW capability with radar and depth charge installation to track submarines while in the deep sea. This innovation served as the hallmark of the revolution that characterized naval aviation from that time forward. In the Cold War, the most famous aircraft was the Lockheed P-2 Neptune, which provided increased range and payload. The P-3 Orion followed it. This aircraft was associated with modern ASW capabilities. This tragic catastrophe is regarded as the benchmark for magnetic anomaly detection and advanced sonobuoys for MPAs worldwide, incorporated in the Orion. From then until the early years of the 21st century, the Boeing P-8 Poseidon introduced new opportunities to the field that became the mainstay of U.S. naval ASW operations. This allowed it to fill multiple roles, making it a valuable tool in both force projections and intelligence-gathering applications. These have featured evolutionary development from the current generation of $1 billion anti-submarine aircraft currently undergoing testing. Modern inventions and gadgets add up to these forerunners' proving points to an unending quest for dominance of sea power. In what way does this newest edition pay respect to all previous movies, starting from scratch yet creating a pathway of advancement in ship safety? The fact that the project had an estimated cost of $1 billion has elicited controversy regarding the project's financial feasibility. The critics raised the possibility of whether resources dedicated to such sophisticated projects could be used to solve other urgent needs of the defense, for instance, to maintain some fleets and train sailors. Of the many consequences, one of the more shadowy but pertinent ones is the formation of naval doctrines. In the past, a submarine's attacking technique depended on its ability to hide and use the opportunity to strike. The arrival of an aircraft capable of tracking ultra-quiet submarines over very long ranges is highly transformative. Given this, the commanders of the submarines must now focus on anti-counter detection methods, such as the usage of decoys and electronic warfare means, which in turn shifts the future designs and operations of the submarines. Environmental factors also come out as another factor that will define this development. The detection systems of the aircraft have been noted to be unequaled. Not to mention, the sonar that the aircraft uses to identify vessels has also been associated with negative impacts on marine life. Marine mammals, including whales and dolphins, usually reach the sharp end of sonar because of the high-pitched sound waves that they produce. Finding a good balance between maintaining operational efficiency that is in harmony with the strengths of the business and being environmentally sensible is not an easy task. It is going to need creative and edgy approaches and policies that should provide much enforcement. Lastly, the implications for maritime security on a global scale cannot be overemphasized. The use of aircraft in formulating joint defense mechanisms with partner countries underlines a concept of modern warfare. While certain tensions have emerged regarding ownership of waters and subsea assets, the deployment of such an enhanced system brings about a preclusion factor as well as a possibility of conflict. What kind of impact will they have on the nature of power and force control and deterrence in the future years? The achievement of designing and developing an anti-submarine aircraft for $1 billion is impressive, but it remains just the first blossoming of what is destined to become the most innovative age of naval aircraft. Such a system is anticipated to be on the horizon shortly, with features that will alter the nature of maritime security and introduce new dominance. One such development is hypersonic technology being inducted into anti-submarine platforms. Unmanned hypersonic vehicles with velocities above Mach 5 are being developed to become operational counterparts to manned aircraft. These drones are equipped with capabilities to release sonar buoys, launch unmanned underwater vehicles, and carry and launch payloads for strikes at higher velocities and accuracy. Due to their mobility and speed, they are virtually unaware of modern defense systems. They are a continuation of anti-submarine forces. Another groundbreaking creation to further revolutionize underwater detection is quantum sensing technology. This contradicts the typical sonar that uses pressure waves. While a quantum sensor indicates object presence by slight differences in the magnetic fields. This approach increases accuracy and reduces interference, most of which is detected by conventional methods. Furthermore, quantum sensors are not affected by the characteristics of water, such as salinity or temperature, and are thus ideal in various conditions. This concept implies that the next generation of anti-submarine aircraft is expected to be autonomous. Through artificial intelligence and machine learning, these platforms can process large volumes of data in real time and make decisions at the same rate with no reference to those from the human resource department. Self-flying drones can sustain long trips over vast oceanic areas and provide more comprehensive and faster information gathering. The lack of a crew on board also helps to cut expenses and exclude the risk of officers' lives, which makes these systems suitable for the most critical and risky operations in restricted areas. Another area of appreciable innovation is the future propulsion systems. Hybrid electric engines and fuel cells are currently in the developmental stage to increase operating distance and minimize emissions. These advances suggest the potential for increased endurance of aircraft and related equipment, like drones and sonobuoys. Making fuel efficiency paramount and lowering emissions, these propulsion systems are in line with other initiatives to generate greener militaries. Weapons are also moving through this phase change. High-powered lasers are among directed energy weapons built to counter threats like underwater drones, which are being developed, torpedoes, and much more. These weapons provide high accuracy of target designation and unlimited shells, which indicates a serious step forward in protection. At the same time, the development of new missiles and the miniaturization of existing ones make it possible to increase payload capacities without any penalty in aircraft performance. Another concept in active development could be considered the airborne carrier for autonomous systems. Such enormously large craft could act as motherships that could employ and recover a cluster of drones and AI-controlled submersibles in midair. Such an arrangement would allow for uninterrupted surveillance of the seas over large territories and prevent any areas in the ocean from being left uncovered. Such a platform would not only improve the situational awareness of the armed forces, but also lead to the generation of new opportunities for coincident multi-domain actions. Military and civilian industries have vital roles in these breakthroughs, and their cooperation ensures these improvements. Firms developing artificial intelligence, renewable resources, and robot programs cooperate with defense companies to implant up-to-date technology into anti-submarine weapon systems. Such strategic associations guarantee that future aircraft not only include advanced amenities, but also involve efficiency and flexibility in performance aspects. However, the emergence of such next-generation systems is not without hitches. High costs, long development and testing phases, and the challenges associated with modifying the existing military architecture present some of the biggest challenges. However, the political consequences behind the utilization of such sophisticated technology have to be taken into account when one considers that they may unbalance further the already sensitive international relations. Despite all these problems, innovation continues to be a never-ending search. These emerging technologies hold the key to fashioning the leverage of a new maritime security order of the future, which is much talked about in science fiction. While it's true that this will help the world and mostly America too, there is a weird question on the public's lips, which is this the next thing on the list to do when the country is struggling to be? But only time will tell if it's the right thing or not. Thanks for watching. While you are still here, click on the link on your screen to check out another of our videos. See you there.